Hey guys, so I'm gonna just wait for Ms.FitVegan to join the live. Hey,
What's up?
how are you?
Good. I never know what angle it's gonna be. So, okay, try to adjust it. Okay.
No, you look good.
So, what's up, Madeline? We've never met, but I really wanted to reach out to you and do this live because you have a very similar story to me about
Yeah,
your skin.
yeah, super excited. Do you want to just go ahead and introduce yourself to some of my followers?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Jeanette, um, also known as Misfit Vegan, and I have been following a raw vegan lifestyle since 2012, and I really went raw vegan to heal my cystic acne and severe psoriasis that I had on my legs and my chest, my arms, everywhere. My skin was really, really bad. What's up, Lance? Hi. We have some cool people in here. So that's my story, and it's a long story, but basically I completely healed my skin, and I can't believe it because it was like 26 years that I suffered from really, really bad cystic acne. And so, yeah, we're going to get into it today.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm so happy for your success. I had a, as you know, and my followers know, I've had a pretty similar story. And I kind of started my healing journey because I had cystic acne. And then because of that, I just realized the benefits of doing a high raw plant-based diet. And it's like crazy in 2 years how much I've healed just from like feeding my body the proper nutrients. So I'm so excited for your success. It's amazing.
Yes, thank you. I mean, I never thought that I would be able to leave the house and not put like pounds and pounds of makeup on or be super
Totally.
self-conscious about my
Yeah.
skin. I mean, people compliment me all the time on my skin, and it's just still so weird. I don't know if you feel the
Right.
same way.
I know. I feel the same way. And I remember like before going to work and stuff, like into an office, I would like sit there for like 30 minutes and like try to like just cake on makeup. And like now I'm not even wearing makeup right now, but I even like the thought of like putting like mascara or like concealer on, I'm just like, I don't like anything like on my face. And so it's like a great feeling, like waking up and not having to worry about like covering up your acne. It's just like a great confidence boost, as you probably know.
Yeah, so I don't wear any foundation ever. I have a
Hmm.
little mascara on, and I have some lip balm
Yeah.
from 100% Pure. This is the brand that I love. I never wear any foundation ever, and we're going to talk about why. Yeah, feel you. I feel you. It's so funny. The reason I went vegan, we'll just jump into it, is
Yeah,
because
totally.
I was staying home one day from work because I had a really bad breakout. And it was so bad. I had cystic acne. So it was so bad that it was right around here, and I couldn't even see. It was like a
Uh,
mountain. And
yeah.
I don't know if you've dealt with that,
Yeah,
but it
totally.
was so bad that I looked like deformed, and I had to call out of work. And I was staying home. This was 2010. And I was staying home, and I saw the Oprah show. They featured the documentary Food Inc.
Oh
So
yeah.
they were offering it. I'm sure you've seen it. Yeah.
Hmm.
So they were offering it for $1 on Amazon. And I was like, sure, I'll get that. You know, I want to learn about health. I want to lose weight. I've always been into health, and I always wanted to lose weight. So I was always getting these documentaries and learning as much as I could. So I got the documentary. It's actually the first thing I ever bought on the internet on Amazon. Okay, 2010. And immediately, I had never seen an animal being hurt before. So immediately I went vegan, and I didn't know anyone vegan. I didn't know what to do. I just knew that I didn't feel comfortable contributing to this kind of
Hmm.
violence and suffering. So that started my journey on veganism. And, you know, I didn't really notice my skin getting better because I was still eating crap. I was eating, vegan crap. Um,
Hmm.
chips and I was still eating just like processed food and stuff like that, and oil. Okay, my
Yeah.
skin was very, very oily, very oily. And I used to use those Clean and Clear blue
Yeah,
things.
the oil wipes.
Yes, I used to use those. I'm talking about like a pack every few days. My skin was so oily, and I used to constantly be doing that. And I know now that it was because of the oil I was eating and the
Yeah.
animal products for sure.
Oh,
So
totally.
anyway, that's why I went vegan. And then I learned about raw veganism, and my skin in a month, my skin completely changed. There's a few things that I did also, but
Yeah.
yeah, very, very powerful to change what you're eating.
So did you ever, with your acne, did you ever go like a traditional route of like seeing a dermatologist or like any topicals or anything?
Yeah,
Or did you just,
definitely saw a dermatologist. I took Accutane for a while. It really messed me up. I gained a lot of weight. I had,
hmm
really bad. It started my sleep issues taking that. And then I tried everything topical, even over the counter, Neutrogena, all these natural things too. I tried everything. But the one thing I didn't realize was that the way your skin looks is a direct reflection of what's going on in your colon. I didn't
hmm
know that. Okay, because we have two organs of elimination, our colon and our skin. And our skin is the largest one. So if we don't have the skin that we want, we are eating something that is causing that. So no doctor ever told me that. No dermatologist. It's crazy. I don't know. Do they not know? Are they not taught this?
I think this is part of going back to whole money scheme. So if you're not paying into the system and you're cured, then you're not giving them money and you're not giving them service, is what I believe.
Correct.
Um,
Okay. Yeah. Because if everyone healed, then there would be no
there would
reason
be
for
no,
us to stop.
totally.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but so for my acne story, I was raised in like a very natural household. My mom always took us to homeopathic and alternative doctors. So because of that, I just had like a natural mindset. And so I suffered for acne for probably like really bad acne for probably a year. And I went to my homeopathic doctor like 3, 4, 5 times, and he basically like the fifth time he was like, I don't really have answers for you. Like I can't help you. So that was just like heartbreaking and just like totally crushed me. And then finally, randomly, I came across Medical Medium on Instagram, and I just like totally dove into the vegan lifestyle, incorporating more plants and using food as medicine. And like it took me about a year to see the results I wanted, but it was like is insane. Like even adopting that lifestyle, it cured like my digestive issues, my bloating issues, my chronic fatigue, like just everything started going in the right direction, which was just like I was amazed. I didn't like know the power that foods had, which was
And
just
when was
crazy.
this? This was 2 years ago?
So I started my healing journey January 2019. So like a little bit
So
over
recent.
2 years. Yeah.
Wow.
But I was really health conscious. Like I was vegetarian, and then I was like at points in my life I was vegan and then went back to vegetarian because I was in college and I didn't have a kitchen, so it was a little bit harder, and I didn't have the knowledge that I have today.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would say like 4 years ago I started like diving into the whole vegan vegetarian thing. And because of that, it like conditioned my mind. So like when I found these answers of how to heal your acne holistically, I kind of was just like, no question, like, all right, I'm completely cutting out cheese, eggs, all the rest of the stuff. So
Yeah.
it was definitely,
What would you say is the number one thing that helped when you cut it out of your diet?
um, I would say like physically, just like mentally, I was so much more like clear. Like my brain fog was gone. Like it was just insane how fast I felt better not eating like, so I wasn't eating meat. It was mostly, and eggs I didn't really eat, but it was mostly just cheese. Like I would eat cheese sandwiches and like just like cheese and crackers and stuff like daily. But when I cut that out, it was just like insane. And it makes sense because the cheese and like the eggs and all that just adds to the toxins in our body, and like promotes growth of toxins that cause illness. So it all makes sense. But yeah, as the thing that helped me the most would be juicing, like celery juicing, fresh juices, fruit juices, green juices, just like getting those nutrients in your diet as like every single day, twice a day was just a complete game changer.
Yeah, I agree with the juicing. I can physically see a difference in my skin when I drink green juice. I physically see the difference. There's two things. One is coconut water, and
Oh
the other one
yeah,
is green juice.
daily.
Literally the
Yeah,
next day, you experience the same
yeah.
thing, right?
Hmm.
The next day, my skin will look extra glowy,
Right.
and coconut water, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So, it's weird though, because the other day I saw a video by Freely. I don't know if you know her. I'm sure Freely the
Hmm.
Banana Girl. She's one of my mentors or idols. And basically, she said that green juice is a stimulant because it has a lot of oxalates, and we would normally not eat that many greens in nature. I've never heard that before. So I'm wondering if anybody listening has heard that
Yeah.
or,
Someone just said I just started juicing last week and I think it helped my skin too.
yeah.
Crazy. It's not even for my skin. Like if I have like can feel like my digestive issues coming back, if like I eat a lot of fat or something, I'll have celery juice or green juice, and within like 20 minutes, I'm just like back to my normal self, have energy. It's like it's insane. Like I never thought a green juice could give me more energy than like when I used to drink coffee.
Yeah, and I'm wondering now. I'm like, oh, is green juice? I mean, I believe it's healthy for us, but now I'm thinking like, should I not be drinking green juice every day? Because she said it's a stimulant. It's interesting.
Right.
I mean, I can't.
I
It's obviously not as bad as coffee, obviously,
right.
obviously. But
I follow some people on Instagram that do like 30, 40, 60-day juice fasts. And like they like totally reverse their chronic illnesses. So it definitely does have like huge beneficial factors.
yeah, I've done a juice cleanse before. I wouldn't recommend just juice
No, no.
anymore.
I like always attempt them when I feel like my health is like needs a little boost, and I just like I think it's a mental thing for me. Like I just love eating fruit. I love like having my smoothies and stuff, but like I think if the time was right and like mentally I was there, I could definitely do a juice fast, but who knows?
Somebody is asking, what juicer do you use? Which juicer do you use?
I have two different juicers. They're both Breville. And I recommend them. They're easy to clean. They're like 5 or 6 parts, and you can put them in the dishwasher. And they have like different price points too. So I recommend a Breville.
Breville. Okay, I have two juicers as well. Shout out to the two juice queens.
Yeah.
Why do we have two juicers? I don't know. But okay, so I have an Omega 8006, which is a
Hmm.
quite an old juicer. I love it. I've had it for almost 8 years now. And then I also have the Nama Well juicer. Um, Both are amazing. Both are quite expensive, around like 350. But this year, you're gonna have this for life. And
Totally.
the most important thing is how easy it is to clean. Okay, like you just
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
That's because if it's annoying to clean, you're probably not gonna do it.
Right.
What kind of shower filter do you recommend? Wow, we're getting some great questions. Hold on, I don't want
Yes.
to miss any. Oh, I cut out coffee for green juice. That's amazing. That is amazing. Coffee is so dangerous and toxic. Caffeine should be illegal. It's a
Yes.
neurotoxin and extremely dangerous for our health, and I'm sure you agree. Okay,
Totally.
so somebody, yes, the Nama is super easy to clean, and somebody wants to know, what shower filter
Shower
do you
filter.
recommend? Do you have a shower filter?
I don't. I'm currently living at my parents, and so they don't want me to like mess with
Mm.
their water line and stuff. But when I do move, get my own apartment, I'm going to purchase the Berkey water filter. I think they're only
Oh,
like
okay, yeah. No, I have a Berkey. They wanted to know about a shower filter.
yeah, yeah, Berkey has shower filters too.
No
Yeah,
way.
and I think they're like reasonably priced, like 75, $80.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I don't know if I can install it because I have a really nice shower. Like, I have one of
Yeah,
those rain showers.
yeah, they get kind of tricky, so you definitely have to check with your shower before.
Yeah, I think it would be a very good idea to have a shower filter, honestly. This is gonna sound gross. It is what it is. I try to take as little showers as possible. That's gross, I'm sure,
No,
but
but
I
our
honestly
tap
don't like the
water,
water.
the tap water system. You live in Florida, right? So and I
I live in
notice
Florida, yes.
if I fill up like a jug to water the plants or whatever with the tap water, it's like yellow. And the water in my toilet is yellow. Like the water system is so toxic.
Yeah, so I mean, I go in the ocean every day.
Hmm.
I try, I take a shower a day usually, but I try to skip a day, especially with my hair. I try to skip it like a few days with washing my hair, especially because I know
Hmm.
that the water's very toxic.
Oh,
Great
totally.
question though.
Yeah, and
Reverse
it's
osmosis? No, I have a Berkey filter, and I believe Madeline is going to get a Berkey as
yeah.
well. A Berkey is
I
the
have the
best.
oh,
Berkey is the
totally.
best.
I feel like for the price, a Berkey is like the best thing. I have one that sits on my counter, and I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, I did a lot of research. I asked a lot of my friends here on Instagram, a lot of experts and mentors of mine, and they all recommended the Kagan or the Berkey. The Kangen is like $5,000, so I
So
was like, I'm
expensive.
gonna go with the Berkey.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
Somebody asked a great question. We'll get back to skin. What are your thoughts on using raw honey as facial cleanser? What are your thoughts, Madeline?
For a cleanser, I'm not really sure, but I know raw honey has like really good antiviral properties. So I guess I say I'm plant-based. I'm not vegan because I do consume honey sometimes because of the antiviral properties, and it's also been like a huge staple in my healing journey. But topically, I haven't really used it much. Have you? Or do you not
Oh, so
consume
you
honey?
said honey was a huge staple in your healing?
Yeah, because of the antiviral properties.
Oh, healing from with
For
your acne or chronic
acne,
inflammation?
everything. So it like helps like kill toxins and bacteria in the system.
Okay. I personally, yeah, that's interesting. I personally don't consume honey. I just know too much about it. I just know that it's bee
No,
vomit and that freaks me out.
yeah, okay, well then maybe to your point,
Sorry?
maybe I'm not educated enough on it.
Yeah, no, I don't know about the healing properties. I do remember I had a boss once. He was a vegan, he was a raw vegan, and he ate honey. And he called himself a vegan. I always thought that was kind of funny. And the reason I don't consume honey is because I know it's all natural. I know it's way better than processed sugar, but I know that it's bee vomit. And to me, it just freaks me out a little bit. And I don't know how the bees are treated. But I don't see anything wrong with, somebody consuming honey if it's coming from, a really, really good source where they're treating the
Hmm.
bees good. I just worry about any animal issues. Personally, I have heard that honey is very good for your skin. I have never used it. Let's get into what we have done exactly for our skin, okay? Because
Okay.
that's a great question. I have never used honey. Have you ever used honey on your skin topically?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So what do you use on your skin, or what have you used to help get rid of the acne scars, get rid of the current acne?
So I've always used like non-toxic natural products. I use some facial oils. I found that facial oils actually have helped me so much with my scarring because they're really hydrating. Um, but I was never really like obsessed with products during my healing journey. I kind of like sometimes I would do like the Aztec clay mask if you're familiar with that,
Yes.
or like just a simple like tea tree face wash, or even just like a simple like natural bar of soap. Like I just keep it really simple.
Okay. And for me, so I had tried everything, so I knew it wasn't topical. So when I went raw vegan, I noticed a difference in my skin, but it wasn't significant until, and I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, until I got a colonic. Okay, so a colonic is something that you should definitely look into if you're having skin issues, because what's happening is your colon cannot eliminate the waste and the old fecal matter, so it's backed up. Okay, when you get a colonic, it gets released, and so your skin can drain and all your other organs can drain all of the toxins that they have. It's kind of like a bathtub, and if you have it a bathtub full of dirty water, and if you take the clog out and you let it drain, that's what a colonic is. Okay, so once I got a colonic, okay, because I was eating healthy, I was eating raw vegan for like a month. and I was drinking green juice every single day, and I eliminated meat and dairy, bread, oil, everything, right? Everything unhealthy, but my skin was still bad and very oily. And what happened was I got a colonic, and within 24 hours, my skin was completely different. Way less
Wow.
oil. The acne started to fade. And within a few months, all of my acne scars went away. And I had really, really bad acne scars, especially on my arms. I still have a really faint one here, but I had acne everywhere. It was really bad. And also my eczema, okay, I had it really bad on my ankle. It's completely gone now. And I really do credit getting a series of colonics for that. So I got 4 once a week, and it just helps you to eliminate the old toxic crap that is in your body that has been accumulating since birth. And some people say that colonics are not natural, and they're not natural, but I believe that we have to sometimes do unnatural things to eliminate the unnatural food that we have eaten. Okay. So for 26 years or 27 years, I ate really bad food that we should never be eating. Humans were not designed to eat animals or processed food. That is my experience. Okay.
Yeah,
Because once I stopped, I started to become a totally different person. I started to look different. Okay, I started to go to my page. If everyone, you can see a before and after. I look completely different, and I realize now that it's because I was giving myself food that was not natural for the human body. So I recommend colonics. And then the other thing that I highly recommend, I don't use anything. I just use water. I stopped using everything. All these foams. I used to use toner. I used to use moisturizer. I used to use every serum. Okay, I'm sure you have experience too. Oh, I used to do
Yes.
scrubs. I don't do anything except once in a while, if I have a breakout, which is usually around when I get my period, I'll break out here and I'll put some coconut oil on. And I find that it really, really helps. And now I just don't want to mess with my skin because it's been through enough and it's fine the way it is. So I don't buy any natural things. I have also used aloe. I like it. I don't know if you've ever used aloe on your face. I don't know if I see a major difference, but I feel like, I don't know, it's natural. So I just do it sometimes just as a, once a month or so routine. But yeah, I don't want to put anything on my skin anymore, and especially makeup. Okay, so why don't you talk a little bit about, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but the dangers of putting on toxic chemicals onto your face.
Yeah. So as you know, like our skin has pores and it attracts and like takes in all of the stuff that you put on it topically. So I always say what goes in your body and what goes on top of your body is so, so important. And so because of that, like I always double check to make sure all my products are non-toxic, cruelty-free, all the good stuff. So as far as
Even
makeup,
before you went like vegan and stuff?
yeah,
Oh, so you were,
yeah.
yeah. So you were always
So
into that natural
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So okay, so as far as makeup goes, so like when I had really bad acne and scarring and stuff, I would put on makeup, like just go to the grocery store. Like it was like, but I always hated makeup. Like I don't like the feeling of it. I don't like the feeling of like stuff on my lips. I'm like a really weird about textures. So,
Me too.
so when my acne finally, healed up, like I only wear makeup if it's like if I'm going out to dinner with a friend, put on. Sorry, I got a robocall. Um, so I only do it probably like once every 2 weeks, maybe. Like I think the last time I bought makeup was like over a year ago. Like I rarely ever use it, but my favorite brands like Mineral Fusion is like the only brand that I wear. Sometimes Bare Minerals, but yeah, it's like pretty minimal. So
Mineral Fusion. Okay, I've never
mhm.
heard that.
I get it on thrive.com, thrivemarket.com, and they have it like at a pretty decent price.
Okay, nice, nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Guys, you have to remember your skin is an organ, right? And it's part of your body, but it's just on the outside. So don't get it confused. Whatever you put on your skin, you are eating. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wouldn't eat it, don't put it on your skin, because like she said, there's pores and it goes into your skin. And it's really scary to me when people put on these toxic chemicals, like, really bad toxic sunscreen or makeup or lotions or things like from, Bath and Body Works and stuff like
Ugh.
this. That stuff is really, really toxic, and it goes straight to your liver to
Mm-hmm.
try to eliminate it. But there's always a consequence to everything that we do that's not natural. I know we all want to like smell good and look good and glowy and be shiny and like sparkly and stuff. There are absolute ways to do this without harming your body, because maybe you're not going to feel the effects today, but the compound effect is always working. So if you put that on day after day after day, and you put makeup on your face, what's going to happen is your health is going to suffer. So
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I will never use foundation again, ever. But what I do use is I use 100% pure lip tint, and they have a nice mascara. It's like fruit-based makeup.
Mm.
And I used to work with them. I don't work with them anymore, but I still love their stuff. And I think a lot of stuff in the beauty industry is just really, it's really useless. It's really useless
Mm-hmm.
and purposeless. And once you start eating better, okay, like she said, drinking green juice, investing that money into your health and what you eat, your health from the inside is going to show on the outside, and your true beauty is
Totally.
going to shine through. It's crazy. When I was wearing a lot of makeup, I swear I did not look good. I was just covering up the
Oh, oh
unhealthy
my God.
aspect,
Mine was
like
so
I
cakey.
was
Yeah.
not glowing. I didn't,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't look
Back.
good because I was just trying to hide the things I was eating. So once you're eating better, you'll feel better. Somebody had a good question here. Do you believe raw veganism? Thank you guys so much for being here, by the way, and thank you for the questions. Do you believe raw veganism would help people with eating disorders? Just curious of your opinions on this topic. Love you guys. Love you too. Madeline, why don't you chime in on that?
So I'll just talk a little bit about my personal experience. So before I started my healing journey, I felt that I always had issues with binge eating, and then I would feel really guilty and be like really ashamed of myself. And once I found a way to balance it with healthy foods, if I was eating like a huge basket of fruit or something mentally, that really helped me. Um, and it also just was feeding my body and my liver with the right nutrients. So I felt from my personal experience, I would say that my relationship with food is like the best that it's ever been. And like I really do listen to my body cues, and like if I'm hungry, I'll eat, and when I'm not hungry, I won't eat, type of thing. So from personal experience, I believe that my relationship with food's the best it's ever been because of my plant-based diet.
Yes, I agree. I also had a major problem with food addiction and binging and starving. I definitely had an eating disorder when I used to, before I found raw veganism. And what raw veganism did was it helped me understand, number one, we have a sweet tooth for a reason. We were designed to eat sweet, juicy, delicious fruit, right? We were designed to eat that. And so that's what I learned, number one. So I stopped feeling like there's something wrong with me because I was addicted to sugar, chocolate, processed
Hmm.
food. Okay, so that helped me a lot, realizing there's nothing wrong with me. This is my design. I was designed to eat sweet things, just, sweet fruit. Okay, and number two, once you eliminate, once you eliminate the bad food, right? Whatever you are eating, you're going to crave more of. So if you're eating fast food, you're going to crave more fast food. If you're eating chocolate, you're going to crave more chocolate. If you go a few days or a few weeks without, like, abstaining from any junk food, your microbiome will start to change and crave the things that you're eating. Because what's your gut, what's in, the bacteria in your intestines, they're craving what you're eating. They're made up of what you're eating. So if you eat fruit and vegetables, the gut bacteria is going to be like, I want more of that. That's what feeds me. Okay, so in the beginning, the first step is the hardest part, right? Changing is the hardest part. The first step is hard because you are really craving the thing. It's not your fault. your bacteria in your body, you know, we have trillions of cells of bacteria. Okay, there's more cells of bacteria than there are human cells. Okay, so it's whatever you've been eating. And so it's not your fault. You've just been eating the wrong things. Now, in the beginning, it will be a little difficult. This is why I highly recommend getting a colonic, again, because it will help to eliminate that crap, those bad bacteria. And then you can start eating the good stuff. And I promise you, I don't even crave the foods that I used to eat. Somebody can be eating McDonald's right next to me. I'm sure you agree.
Totally.
Yeah, because we changed our bacteria. Now, somebody can be eating McDonald's right next to me. I will not want that. That is not food to me. That doesn't look like food. It doesn't smell like food. It's weird, right? Yeah.
Totally.
And I never thought I would say that. I never thought I would say that because
Yeah.
I grew up eating McDonald's every day. So,
And I often get the question of how I deal with like a sweet tooth. And to be honest, since I've healed for the last 2 years, I don't really experience sweet tooths. And if I do, then I'll just make like a smoothie, or I'll make like a nice cream, or just like something that I can eat that I know is still elevating my health and like helping me detox and makes me feel good. So yeah, I to your point, I never crave that stuff. And if I do see people eating it, I look at it as like, that just is going to make me feel like shit and not going to help me in any way, shape, or form to increase my health.
yes. I got a question earlier, and this person asked me if I could speak about it on the live. So I want to ask you, Madeline, your thoughts on, so she went raw vegan, or she's high raw, you know, plant-based, really healthy, whole foods diet. And she is really concerned about how to be social. Like her boyfriend doesn't eat healthy, her boyfriend's family, and she wants to know how I deal with that and how she can eat really healthy but be social. So what would you say to that?
So this is one thing that was probably the hardest or trickiest thing that I dealt with originally on my healing journey. So before I started my healing journey, I had like just graduated college. I was still in that party mindset, like let's go out to dinner, get drinks, go to the bar, let's late night on pizza, like all that stuff. So when I like drastically switched to a healing journey, it was kind of like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm not, like I stopped drinking, all this type of stuff. So I totally know where she's coming from, but I would just say the best thing, and this took me time, so like don't think that this is going to happen overnight, but the best thing that helped me is to just own it and own who you are. Like whenever I would go to dinner with my friends, I would always like I always Google the menu and make sure there's something in a social setting that I can eat, and if there isn't, then I'll always eat before or after, or like I just play around with the situation to figure out what's best for me. But I just like own it, and I'm just like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. Like, this is my diet. This is why I'm doing it. It makes me feel good. I was chronically ill for 22 years of my life. I don't want to go back to that. So that's just why I eat predominantly fruits and vegetables. So I think it's just don't be shy and don't be scared about being different than other people. I think that that's like the experience and the time for you to shine and be like, hey guys, like this is what I'm doing. Like you can either be on board or not. So it's also just like after a while, like after a couple of months, they'll start to figure out like how to act in social settings and how to communicate and stuff. So it takes a little bit of a time, but I'll say like now when I go out socially, I'm like so comfortable with being like, oh, actually I don't want to drink, or actually I'm just going to eat when I get home because X, Y, and Z type of thing.
Yeah, I completely agree, Madeline. That is great advice. I experienced the same thing. And I realized that there's a few things. One, you're going to have to get comfortable with being weird, okay? Because not 99% of people out there, they're not taking care of themselves. They're going to have to deal with the consequences later. Now, okay, so first of all, yeah, you're going to be the weirdo, you know, ordering a salad or not eating or bringing your own food, but you're going to have to realize your priorities. What is your priority? Your health and how you feel, okay? Or fitting in with everyone else. And the people that are supposed to be in your life and that really love you, they're going to understand, and they're not going to make fun of you, and they're going to be like, you know what? I support you. I don't know, I might not understand it, but you know what? I love you. Cool. I just want you to be there. It's not about, you know, because food is such a big thing in our society. I still experience it, you know, being raw vegan for 10 years. trust me, is not easy. But what happens is people, I just don't, I don't socialize with people that are going to judge me or try to force me to eat things that I don't want to eat, right?
Agree. Yeah.
Nobody can peer pressure me into drinking or eating any animal products, of course, but eating any processed food or anything like that. And if they try to do it, then they know that we're just not going to hang out anymore. It just doesn't work. You got to respect
Totally.
my boundaries, just like I respect yours. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to offer you some fruit, but I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot eat. Just like, you know, I don't want anyone to do that to me. So
Mhm.
yeah, I agree with everything you said. And also make it fun. Like I always have my fruit with me. Like I bring fruit to people's houses and to hangouts and stuff. And people always want to try my stuff, right?
Totally.
Like your
Yeah.
smoothies, your food.
Yeah. And I also, so many people have been open, like my friends and family, or just like even random people I meet on the street. And I'm talking to, they're so open to hearing my story and hearing like how my diet and lifestyle has like completely transformed my life. And it's even like now, like my sister, she is like completely plant-based. Like we eat a pretty similar diet. My parents are so much more open to eating like vegan meals. I'll cook dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever, and they're like so open to eating, like not eating animal products, which is great. Or even like my friends will like text me and be like, oh my gosh, like I just made this recipe of yours and it's so great. Like I'm making it for my family too, which is like amazing. And like one of my big goals is to get people to eat a more healthy plant-based lifestyle so they can feel better and not experience these chronic illness issues and symptoms.
Yeah, it's also about who you're inspiring. So whenever you feel like the weird one or the odd one out, just remember it's not really about you. It's not about
Mm-mm.
you, it's about who you can help. Because we were born, our job on this earth is to help people. Okay, everyone has a different way. Some people are going to help
Mm-hmm.
people to inspire them to learn how to dance, or some people are going to help people to learn how to, you know, set goals and achieve them. Some people are going to inspire people to eat healthier, and you know, things like that. So every single person was born to help other people. And if you're somebody who is in the healthy journey right now, like in a healing healthy journey, you were born to help inspire other people. So don't take it personal when somebody thinks, you know, you're weird or makes fun of what you're eating or whatever. It's not about you, and don't take it personal. Wow, we got a lot of cool
Yeah.
comments. Your skin appearance is a direct result of your intake 3 months ago of glow. Oh, sorry, 3 months ago. Glowing outside is easy when you're healthy inside. Wow, I didn't know that. So your skin appearance is a direct result of your intake 3 months ago.
3 months ago. That's
Because your
interesting.
skin, well, I heard your skin changes every 4 weeks. Like all the cells are regenerated
Oh,
every 4 months.
really? I didn't know that. That's interesting.
This is what I've read, but 3 months sounds a little more accurate. Yeah, your skin is a direct result of the last 3 months. Yeah, that's a really good point. Do you think the issue is bacteria related? Has anyone ever experienced cystic acne and even cysts forming around your panty line? Okay, great question. I have experienced cystic acne on my face, arms, chest. And I know for a fact it was what I was eating. For a fact. If you go to the beginning of the live, we talk more about this. But because when I stopped eating it and I got the crap out of my body, my skin completely changed. So I know for a fact it was not my hormones, it was not genetics, it was not my environment or the water or the pollution. It was what I was eating.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as, you know, I would look at your diet. I would look at your diet because you're getting the cystic acne. You're getting this as a symptom of something that you're consuming that is not for you. Okay, Madeline, I don't know if you have any more thoughts on
Yeah.
that.
I would say, I agree with diet. Your diet, like a traditional American diet, just feeds to the toxins, and like the bacteria and viruses and everything that causes chronic illness, just on like a general standpoint. So once you stop eating those, then the food, the bacteria and stuff in your body doesn't have anything to like multiply type of thing. But also like when you're eating like dairy and other foods like animal products, milk, whatever, eggs, it is just inflaming your body. Like your body isn't supposed to be digesting that harsh of stuff. And also just like in like a larger standpoint, like when you're eating eggs or meat or whatever, you're also consuming like the energy and the bacteria and like the gross stuff of those animals. So you have to just think of like how much that is also adding to your body.
Yeah, energy never dies. And
Mm-mm.
so, and an animal, when an animal is killed, it still has that energy. And if you're feeling, you know, that's a great point, Madeline. If someone's out there and they're eating animal products and they're feeling anxiety or depression or stress or all these, you know, horrible things that we go through, look at your diet and see what you're eating, because your diet will affect your mood. Food equals mood. And if you're eating
Mm-hmm.
really crappy food, you will be in a really crappy mood. If you're eating healthy food, you're going to, you know, vibrant, healthy, beautiful food that gives you energy, you're going to be in a healthy, beautiful, energetic mood. So please, guys, the reason why we're doing this live is because we really just want to help in any way we can. We have gone through really bad issues with our skin and our health, and we just know that you don't have to suffer with this. You do not have to suffer with this. Reach
Mm-hmm.
out to either of us,
Totally.
because we've been there and we know what rock bottom is like, and we know what it's like. I know what it's like to not be able to leave the house because I was so embarrassed. I look back now and I'm like, who cared about my skin? You know, nobody
Right.
cares as much.
Nobody, like, you think
Yeah.
people are looking at you and like nobody cares. Nobody's
But
looking
when
at
you're in
you.
it, you don't realize it, you know,
You
when
don't
you're in it
realize
and you're
it.
young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we got some more questions. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all your questions. Wow, acne is your body detoxifying stuff that shouldn't be in the body. Absolutely.
Yes.
Whenever I eat dairy, I would make my, oh yeah, dairy is the number one thing that causes acne. It's also the number one carcinogenic on earth. Dairy has to go. If you're eating dairy, it has to get out of your body. There are so many other options. There's vegan cheese, vegan ice cream. There's so many types of milk. Guys, there's no reason for dairy to be in your body. Dairy is for a baby calf to turn into a 1,000-pound cow. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There is no reason that we should be consuming the breast milk of another species. This is weird. This is disgusting. We are the only species that drinks another species' birthing fluid. What is going on here?
Gross. Gross.
Gross. Yeah,
Yeah.
Madeline's face
Gross.
says it all. Gross.
So I just wanted to touch back on the comment. Somebody said acne is your body detoxing stuff that shouldn't be in the body, which is so, so true. When I had acne, I was like so pissed. I was like so annoyed, like so my self-esteem, like my confidence was so down, but it was a sign that my body needed detoxing. And when I first started my healing journey, it was for my acne, but like I didn't even realize that I had like this huge long list of ailments of like digestive, brain fog, chronic fatigue, like all of this just like long list of stuff. And it was just a sign. A face full of acne, I always say this, a face full of acne literally saved my life, because I have had ailments and stuff that I've seen holistic doctors, like MDs, naturopathic doctors, all of that, and they've literally said, oh, sorry, we have no answers for you, you're going to live with these for the rest of your life. And like I was at 20 years old to hear that I was going to live with like these debilitating chronic illnesses for the rest of my life was like obviously heartbreaking. But I firmly believe that if you have an ailment on the outside, it means that things on the inside need changing and you need a detox.
I love that. Wow, I just got chills. A face full of acne saved your life. Yeah, because you know what? A lot of people are out there living with things and they don't realize that they don't have to live like that. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be tired all the time. You don't have to have stomach issues all the time. I meet so many people with IBS and stomach issues.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to suffer. You were not born to suffer. You were born to thrive and help other people overcome the things that you have overcome.
Totally.
Wow, I love doing this live with you. Thank you so much, Madeline.
Of course, it's been fun.
90% of serotonin is made in the gut. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. What are your best tips for calming an acne flare? Okay. I will say that what I would do, I would immediately put coconut oil on. Okay. Get
Mm-hmm.
organic virgin coconut oil. Try to buy it in glass. That's the best, because if it's in plastic, it can leach into the coconut oil. So I would do that. I would not put makeup on. And I know that is extremely hard to do. If you have to put makeup on, use a natural makeup. I recommend 100% pure. Madeline recommends Bare Minerals, or what was the other one?
Mineral Fusion.
Yes. So you can do that, but the best thing to do is to let your skin breathe, okay? And coconut oil. And immediately I would start to drink more water, okay? I would drink at least, listen, you got to detoxify, so I would drink a gallon of water a day, okay? And I would go get a colonic. You're going to see a big difference. And you've got to look at your diet, okay? So those are the things that I would do. I would look at my diet. What am I eating? Am I eating dairy? Am I eating meat, fish, eggs, cheese, you know, animal products? That's going to cause acne. If you're vegan, let me know if you're vegan, because if you're vegan and you're still breaking out, I would look at the processed food and the oil, okay? Those are two things that definitely can contribute to acne if you are vegan. I want to know your thoughts on oil, Madeline, but I don't believe we should be eating oil because it is a processed food. You're not going to find oil in nature. Once in a while, sure, right? You can have it once in a while, but I wouldn't consume that every single day, and I would definitely not consume it as a health food. What are your thoughts on oil?
So when I first started my healing journey, I went no fat. And then I still eat a pretty low fat diet. So when I cook, I try, like, I don't use oil, but if I'm like out at a restaurant and they give me a salad dressing with oil in it or whatever, it's kind of a little bit out of my control. So I do consume oil in those ways, but oils are like one of the most toxic thing that you can be consuming, like all canola oil, which is literally like motor oil for cars, like rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, palm oil. They're all just like completely altered, made like
What
completely
about
fake.
organic, like extra virgin olive oil?
Yeah, so then there's the oils like avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, things like that. Those are like, obviously those are more natural, but they're still a fat. So I like tend to eat a lower fat diets, and fats always just make me bloated. They like mess with my digestion. So I tend to eat a lower fat diet, but the oils like canola oil, the worst oil you can be eating. Like they're just I mean, it's just the oils is the one thing that really bothers me, because if you go through like Whole Foods or whatever and you see I always am looking through labels and they're like natural, organic, gluten-free, this or that, and then there's canola oil in it. I'm like, that's the one thing that drives me insane. So always watch out, read your labels for refined oils.
Yeah, that's a great point. The first step I would do to change your diet is to start reading labels. Yeah. Start really reading what is in your food. And then, you know, eventually you'll get to the point where you don't buy anything with a label on it. So then it makes it really easy, you know?
Yeah, you don't have to
But
worry
read your
about it.
labels, see what the hell you're putting into your body. There's nothing more important than your health, because once you lose your health, it is so hard to get it back. Once you're in the hospital sick, once you are you know, have been diagnosed with a chronic illness, or you know, something that is really hard to reverse, it's going to be a lot of work. So start now before you get something, because you know, listen, we're all going to, if we treat our bodies like shit, we're going to end up with a shit body, and we're gonna have to deal with it. So deal with it now before it happens. We had some other good comments. My anxiety went down significantly when I stopped eating meat. Yes, me too. I was severely depressed and suicidal even. And you know, when I stopped eating meat, everything changed. And I still have the same life and the same problems and the same family, but my outlook on life changed, and I'm a completely different person. I absolutely agree. I found the medical medium. We have a lot of medical medium people here.
So I first started my healing journey because of medical medium. So I have attracted some medical medium followers because of that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know too much. Of course, I know who that is. And I don't know too much about his diet or what he recommends or what he doesn't recommend. Can you just tell some of my followers that might not know?
Yeah. So it mostly is just basing it off of he bases it off of plants, like plant-based. So lots of like fruit. He like debunks like the fruit fear, the fruit mysteries, the sugar, all that. So a bunch of like herbs, natural supplements, but he suggests staying away from eggs, corn, soy, pork, citric acid, natural flavors, dairy, milk, and then there's a few other I can't think of on the top of my head, but he says that these foods are like the triggering foods and promote growth of toxins in the body that cause chronic illness. So he like it's basically based off of like just incorporating more hydrating liquids like celery juice. He's the one who really started the celery juice movement. So like celery juice, smoothies, and he is also he promotes a low fat or no fat diet.
Does he promote a vegan diet, or he allows like
So
some?
he's kind of like he always says he's label free, so he doesn't like to label anything. But a lot of his followers have converted to a vegan plant-based diet just because of all like the healing toxic properties, and also like eggs, dairy, meat, pork, farmed fish, all of that just like promotes the body in a negative way to stop detox. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've of course heard of him, and I've heard lots of great things. And I have a friend who's currently doing one of his cleanses. I think it's like a heavy metal cleanse, detox. So yeah, I love anyone who is inspiring other people to eat more fruit and vegetables. And I guess some final thoughts on what people can do, Madeline, to start healing their skin, because it can be overwhelming. You know, some people don't know where to start. What would you say?
I always say start with incorporating more things into your diet because it's easier to start introducing more coconut waters, celery juice, green juice, more fruit. Start incorporating more healing properties into your diet, and you'll notice that once you start feeding your body and filling it with like a smoothie in the morning rather than like eggs, bacon, and cheese, that you won't even, like we said before, what you feed your body is what you crave. And
Yeah.
then over time, just like I always say, just give your body time and like don't think overnight that you have to do everything right then and there because it's a process and like there's ups and downs. You're learning every single day. I mean, like over 2 years into my healing journey, I'm still learning every single day how to up my healing, how to feel better, how to thrive more. So like over like maybe like 1 week you cut out dairy, 1 week you cut out eggs and then meat and then fish or whatever your jam is. And just do it slowly. I mean, I know that people want answers like right now, but I mean, time is your best friend. And like, I'm 2 years into my healing journey and still healing every day.
What's your favorite smoothie?
I keep my smoothies like really simple. Coconut water, dragon fruit, pink dragon fruit, and banana. That's my favorite one.
Ooh, so yummy.
But I just
Um,
I go to Costco and I buy like the huge organic frozen fruit. So I have like wild blueberries, pineapple, mango, cherries, and then I always have like at least 30 frozen bananas in my fridge. So I just like plop whatever I'm feeling into the blender.
yeah. Do you take any supplements for your skin or for anything?
So throughout my healing journey, I've always focused on food. That was like my main thing. Here and there, I would get supplements like B12, zinc, golden seal's a good one for acne, lemon balm's also a good one, licorice root, magnesium. So I do sometimes like I have supplements, but I don't regularly take them. Kind of noticed that like every month I was spending like hundreds of dollars on supplements, and I was like not really sure if that was the route that I wanted to go. So I do have them if I'm feeling like low or I need like an energy boost or something, but I don't normally focus on them.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just say
Mm-hmm.
that to start, what I would recommend to start, the first step I would say is you gotta stop putting on the toxic chemicals. Okay,
Yeah.
so I would stop if you have acne right now and you don't know where to start. I would stop with all of the acne treatment, the prescribed or over-the-counter stuff. You have to just stop. That stuff is really toxic. I can only imagine the ingredients in the stuff that I
Ugh.
used to put on my skin.
Mine used to my hand towels would be bleached because of like I
Ugh.
don't even know, it was like supposed to make like acne shrink and stuff, and I would sleep with it. Like my shirt, my sheet, everything was bleached. I'm like, and I'm putting this on my skin.
It's like, honestly, I get goosebumps thinking about it because I feel so, like, I love myself so much now that I just feel so bad that I put that stuff into my body. And, you know, there's some things like pharmaceuticals, they stay in your liver forever. There's some things
Hmm.
you can never detox, and it's very scary. And all you can do is the best you can, right? And like you said, time is your best friend. So slowly it will start to detox. But I've heard some things just never leave. So, okay, what would I do is I would stop using the chemicals. I would stop using anything on my skin, and I would switch to a natural makeup, because I know it's almost impossible to not wear makeup if you have really bad acne. So I would recommend using 100% pure. I would say coconut oil. Use coconut oil, and just let it breathe, because you've got to let it breathe. Wait, did I cut off or?
No, it was a little shaky, but I think you're fine now. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Hello.
I live by the water. I have really bad service here.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, so like I was saying, I would let your skin breathe. That's really going to help you. Coconut oil, natural makeup, and then I would definitely use the advice that Madeline just said. Add in good things. I also have to say, I do take 2 supplements honestly, I just take it for, I want to like have like thicker hair. I
Hmm.
don't have any issues, but I take moringa, because I've just heard it's
Oh,
really, really good.
yeah.
I
I've
put a
heard
little
that's
bit
good.
in my smoothie. Oh, you do?
Mhm.
I put a little bit in my smoothie every day. I don't know. I just do it because I just heard so many good things about it. And I
Yeah.
also like sea moss, because I know, do you do sea moss too?
I've just started to get introduced to it.
Yes, because I know the reason I do sea moss is because I know for a fact that my fruit and vegetables probably doesn't have the amount of minerals that it should have, because the soil is so damaged. So sea moss has 92 out of 100 of the essential minerals that we need. And I don't know, I feel it's a good idea. I'm not saying you have to do that. I don't really believe in supplements, but moringa and sea moss I take. Somebody asked what kind of coconut water. I don't know if you answered that yet, but what kind of coconut water do you use?
I don't really have like a specific brand. I'm not too picky, but I just make sure that it's like fair trade, organic.
Yeah, I would recommend fair trade organic. I would recommend, if you can get fresh coconuts,
Yeah, yeah,
obviously
fresh coconuts. Yeah, that's the best.
that's the best. Otherwise, it is pasteurized, but just make sure it's organic. Harmless Harvest, I guess, is probably a very popular one. But I don't think it matters as long as it's organic. And the only ingredient is coconut water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make a lot of them have like added sugar or like natural flavors or
Yeah.
just crap. Just make sure it's 100% coconut water.
Before we go, do you want to talk about natural flavors? What
Oh
is
yeah.
natural flavors?
So I only know like a little bit of research on this, but from my understanding, the natural flavors can literally be anything from like bugs to toxins, or I don't even know. They coin natural, and when people say natural on the label, they're like, "Oh, it's natural flavors. It's healthy, it's fine," but like it could literally mean anything, garbage, toxins.
The FDA, yeah, the FDA does not regulate the term natural flavors. So it can literally be anything. It doesn't even have to be vegan, okay? Like, it is so messed up that this is allowed, this is legal, but natural flavors means anything. It could be bleach, it could be poison, it could be whatever. We don't know. And I think this is really messed up. So this is why I would highly recommend you never eat anything that says natural flavors in it, which I think you do also. You check for
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
totally.
That's a secret that nobody really talks about. But the natural flavors shit is just really scary.
Yeah,
It's
and
really,
then
really scary.
also to add on top of that, citric acid is another one that you'll see in a bunch of packaged foods, and citric acid is actually black molds. So it's just a way to preserve foods. So you'll see it in a bunch of like canned foods, like a lot of canned tomato sauces, soups. So
Everything. Yeah.
citric acid and natural flavors, two no's.
Yeah. Citric acid, a lot of people probably think it's like citrus,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Okay.
And yeah, it makes sense because a couple months ago, was eating something I didn't even know had citric acid in it, and I was like coughing, had like a headache, and then I looked at the label like 2 hours later, and I was like, it's the damn citric acid.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for letting me come on your channel, Madeline. This has been awesome. I learned a lot, and I know a lot of people did as well. And I thank you so much. And I think Madeline's going to be on my channel next week.
Yes,
So I'm
thank
really
you,
excited. We're
thank
going
you
to have some
so
good
much for
stuff.
joining. It's
Thank you
been
so much, everyone. We had so many good questions, and everyone here is awesome. And yeah, I will see you guys soon.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Madeline.
Bye, guys.
Bye.